It is no accident that Route 66 begins in Chicago at Jackson Boulevard and Michigan Avenue. This route began long before anyone ever thought of the Mother Road. It was started by adventurous souls who had already traveled this far west and began forging the haphazard trail even farther. They were seeking adventure, fame and fortune, or just a better life. They followed market routes, stagecoach routes and sometimes paths or trails that, patched together, made one continuous route. Paving the road made it easier for the rest of us to follow, but they were the first. Many of their spirits are still there, waiting for your visit. This book begins in Chicago and follows Route 66, although our route is more like the pre-pavement days. You have to veer from the road here, jog there, but then Route 66 is all about travel, and travel is about adventure and discovery. On this trip we discovered another world without ever straying far from America's Main Street. We got off to a phenomenal start in Chicago, no pun intended. Just pick a spot on a map of this city and you're likely to find a ghost nearby and someone ready to yell about it. One could spend days ghost hunting in Chicago, but we narrowed our selections to the most reliable sources and most interesting stories. As we travel west, we'll take you off the route from time till we just couldn't take you so close to a good ghost story without stopping to hear it. Places like St. Charles, Missouri, Gutherie, Oklahoma, and Jerome, Arizona, were just too wonderful to pass by. We think you'll find the ghosts there well worth the side trip. Keep in mind that we cannot guarantee a sighting. We did our best to conjure up some spirits when we took the trip. We climbed to a dark, dingy attic where the windows were thick with dust, but there was no evidence of any light outside. We picked our way down a path through forest to find an old cemetery where the ghost of a woman carrying her baby had been seen. For all our effort, neither one of us saw a ghost at either side. We did experience the playful nature of one spirit, however. At La Posada, the resident ghost would not let us into her room until we brought up the concierge, who assured us that the ghost had nothing against us, she just likes to have fun. That was our only encounter, but that doesn't mean that you won't see silverware float through the air while you're enjoying breakfast at the Birch Tree Inn. And you might just be awakened in the morning by the ghost of a little girl at the Stone Lion Inn. Wherever we went, we learned about the people who traveled this route long before us. Some led fascinating lives, some tragic, and some remain anonymous. For various reasons they have chosen to linger in our world after death. Why they chose to stay was a big question for us. Once we acknowledged that these spirits really exist, we had to know why. So, we checked with the experts. When we asked David Oster, president of the International Ghost Hunters Society, he came up with the most complete answer, and we learned that there are different types of what we all refer to as ghosts. The first type of spirit activity is called an intelligent haunting and is the most common. In this case, a spirit has stayed behind due to some type of unfinished business waiting for a loved one or a need to take care of some injustice to themselves or a loved one. This group also includes those whose lives ended abruptly. Some are simply not done living, afraid to let go, or are confused and don't know how to cross over. These spirits may return to a place where they experienced happiness. Sounds crazy? Let's say you're John Dillinger and you've just been shot down in the prime of your life. Who killed you? A man you've been thumbing your nose at for years. A man you were sure you could elude forever. If you were John Dillinger, this might just seem like a bad dream to you, something that simply because he couldn't have happened opened. That might be why John Dillinger's ghost keeps running through the alley where he was shot, as if he were still trying to escape death. A residual haunting is like a recording from the past. It can be something you see, like an apparition, or hear. In these cases it is as if the building itself has somehow captured a snippet from the past and continues to replay it so radically over and over. At Nat Antiques in Amarillo, Texas, visitors can hear the laughter of children who swam there long ago when it was a pool. That does not mean all those children are ghosts. This could well be a residual haunting. There is one final explanation needed to cover all the situations we will present to you in this book. It may be the hardest to believe, but it does make sense, at least when you consider haunted cemeteries. This type of haunting is called a portal haunting. The portal is considered to be an opening from one world to the next that a spirit could travel through. There are other types of hauntings, but these three provide explanations for the situations we will be presenting. You may believe them, you may consider them to be bunk, but we couldn't take you on this trip without giving you some theories for why these ghosts exist. One more thing you should know about ghosts is that evil spirits are few and far between. Spirits are simply disembodied entities. They have intelligence, emotions, and the same personalities they had as living beings. How many truly evil people do you know? All of these sites are open to the public, so don't be afraid to go out and find them. You may have to buy a tour, or make a reservation, but in some you can and have a cup of coffee. We try to make it easier for you to do your own ghost hunting by giving you directions and phone numbers, and we urge you to call beforehand. Over the years hours may change, or establishments may close. In any event, we hope you will pack your bags, grab this book and hit the road. If prefer to be an armchair traveler, we still think you'll have an exciting trip along our haunted version of Route 66.